In this video, I'm gonna tell you how to use circuit communication in ABB Robot to send or receive program module file to TCP client. Typically, ABB Robot is server. So first, you have to make sure you already installed PC interface in your robot system. The next, you have to make sure circuit communication hardware connection Ethernet cable already connected. In this video, I just for simulation test to tell you how to program the code to send or receive program module file content in ABB Robot. So let's begin. So first, you have to prepare two empty module file in home folder. As you can see, empty. Why you need to define these two module file? This one is for sending module file content to client. This one is for receiving module file content from client. Once you finish the receiving, you can use ABB Robot load module file instruction to load this module file into the rapid. Then you can call this one. Okay, so this is the first step you have to prepare for the programming. The next, let's go back to the main structure. The main structure, so you have to define these three variables. So I introduced before in circuit communication. So you can go back to that video. So these three variables, as you can see, circuit and IP and the port. Okay, the next is, we are so familiar with this sub program I introduced before. Circuit established means connection established. First, I will check the status, circuit status. Second, I will close. The next, I will create. The last one, I will connect, means establish connection. Okay, this already introduced. I'm gonna skip it. So the key for this communication to send module file or receiving it is these two modules, send modules or receive modules. First, we focus on receive modules, which means client sending module files, we will receive it by this subprogram. Okay, first, you have to define this maximum variable count num. We are define the array maximum elements. The data type is raw bytes. The second is this variable, count one. The third one, this variable, which means in order to operate, write, open these two files, you have to define this variable in order to write or read designated module file, which means because this is for sending, this is for receiving, the first step we have to open this file, and sending the second step should be sending this file. Okay, so how could you open a module file? So you have to use this variable. You have to define it. Okay, the last one should be this raw bytes array. So we define the raw bytes array data, and the name is data. The maximum elements. You can change the maximum, depends on the situation. Okay, in this demo, I just show you. So the next, you call the circuit establish, which is this one. Easy means connection will establish. Then the next, we'll receive from the client, and we store the data in this raw bytes data array. Okay, we store it. The next, we use a while cycle to check whether the receiving finished or not. If not, increase the count one. Then continue to receive data and store in the raw bytes data array. Okay, and we finished and while. The next, as you can see, we're going to open where you will store this receiving data. As I mentioned, I will store this data here in this module. So first, I'm going to open the file path and the module name, which is this one, and under home. So we have to open it. The write mode should be binary method. Remember, binary method. So as you can see, in this receive module, as you can see, pick this one and home folder. You see? So I'm going to open this file and ready to write the module content into it. So I'm going to use a for cycle write raw bytes, which means, as you can see, I already defined this. So I'm going to write this data raw bytes into this module. This is this code meaning. This is the instruction. Okay? Then end for. The next, once the receiving finished, I'm going to close this file. Close this because we have to shut down the authority. This is for the receiving. So let's see the send mode. Send mode sub program is here. It's basically same. So you still have to define the non-maximum. Still for the raw bytes array maximum elements. Same like this. And also the raw bytes, raw array elements, array data type. And the name should be raw. And the data type is raw bytes. Same like the receiving data. Okay? And you still have to define this in order to open and sending this module file. You have to define this variable is in order to open module file. Okay, and you still define this count. So in the sending process, you send the module file to outside. It's important for this variable. The maximum is where decided the raw bytes array maximum elements. As I mentioned, each array elements can have 1024 bytes. So if you change the array elements number, will decide the maximum size of this raw bytes array size. So this variable value, I suggest you based on your project module file you want to send, because I don't know what is the module file content in your project. So if your module file content is too big or too large, you can adjust this value based on the module file you want to send. Adjust it based on the commission on site. Remember, do not just randomly type the value. Otherwise, it will cause robot has alarm. Basically, you have to adjust and commission based on the module file you want to send. Okay? Then you will find the appropriate value. Still, you have to define the store file path, which is this one. This one. Okay? And save. Save means, in this video, I mentioned I want to send this data module file into the client. So first, I will save the data module file as pick 123 module. You get it? I want to save it. I want to save this data module into this. The next, we open this. Still binary. Wait time. I add wait time because operate needs time if the content is too large. The next, I choose count 1, initial value. So as next, I use a for cycle. First, I have to make sure this raw bytes array is empty, so I have to clear it. The next, So I will read, use read raw bytes, which means I will read this module file content and install it in the raw array. And the next, I will establish the socket establish connection. Then the next, I will send this array to the client. Then this is the entire code. And also you in the main are receiving test sending, because in sending I call this send mode data. This is the, as you can see, so I'm gonna skip it. So the next, I'm gonna show you the test result. So the first, you use the TCP UDP socket commission tool. So I already create the port should 8000 already start. So I'm gonna run the robot project. So first we focus on the receiving. So the client send the receiving module file to the ABB robot. Okay. So I'm gonna first we're gonna focus on the receiving. So I'm gonna test. As you can see, receiving should be here. Right now it's empty. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna copy the data module content to send, use the client to send in here. So first you check it's empty. So I'm gonna copy it. I don't need to copy it. So I copy here. I have the, so I copy this one. And still we go back. We go back. So we go back. So we choose the program editors. We choose the menu. And we choose enable. And we choose main. Okay. So we're gonna check. Okay. Wait a second. So one more time for you to check. It is empty. Okay. And we're gonna do it. So we first run the program. We press it, run it. Not, sorry, on enable. Not enable, sorry. Sorry, enable, forget. Enable. Okay, let's begin. So I'm gonna paste here. Wait a second, I'm gonna paste here. As you can sending. So already sending. So I'm gonna show you this one. As you can see, the data already received here. So the communication is working. Once you finish the receiving module file content, I repeat, use the load instruction to load this module file into the rapid. Then you will use this module. Okay, so this is for the receiving. How about sending module file to content? I'm gonna show you. Okay, so I'm gonna disconnect. Then I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna change the code. So I'm change the code. Sending means I will send the data file to the outsider. Okay, the first, make sure this is empty. Okay, sending the data content. Okay, so still I'm gonna receive this and reopen it. Okay, we choose the basic menu and establish already. So I'm gonna show you. Okay, receiving should be here. So I'm run it. Wait time. Yes. End of file. So probably I have to change the value. Okay, so I have to change the value. This value is not right, so I can type it. I can change this value. I mentioned I changed this value, so I'm gonna type it. Yes, and we're gonna run it one more time. And so still we're gonna run it. Run it one more time. Let's do it. Why? Enable. Install, wait time. Yes. As you can see, so the data already received here. Okay. So remember, as you can see, already received. So the key for sending module file to outsider depends on this value, because this value maximum value will define the raw bytes array maximum elements. I repeat, you will commission this value based on the module file you want to send to outsider. So you will change the appropriate variable. So this is this video's content. If you think useful, don't forget to make a donation on my homepage. See you next.